88.5 begin.
Turn your radio on.
Turn it up.
Turn your radio up.
Up.
We got the tracks right here that make y'all wanna jump.
Jump.
Make you shake that to my yeah. Smile and wave your hands in the air. Boogie down from the country to the town. We got that brand new sound. It's going down.
Let me know your keep my brother here. Fatuma said them they go. Massa go by here.
88.5.
Alice throw away your malice. You are for member.
Hot tamales.
Hey, get you fungus, sorry. So my people, I tell you, don't worry.
If you know what I know, you know, I know, you know. The 88.5. Yeah, I know, you know, I know, you know. I said the 88.5. You know, I know, you know, I know, you know. The 88.5. Yeah, I know, you know, I know, you know. The 88.5.
Yeah, babe. 8.3+2. We can double think that means me plus you. Cause I'm looking for a queen on the KIN King. We got early morning plus on your late night swing. We live, boo, on your radio. In a big thing. So get that buzz at the jukebox. You know how we does it. 88.5.
You know what I know, you know, I know, you know. Yeah, I know, you know, I know, you know.
We have seen a systematic erosion of democracy, executive overreach, and open disregard for our constitution, lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye, even when the sacred hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens, while millions are being spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said we were the problem, but now the Liberian people can see for themselves. The real problem is the unity party that is now in power. The time has come to speak the truth without fear. This government is failing and Liberia is paying the price. But citizens, let us not lose hope. Even the longest night must give way to daylight. Even the strongest storm must pass. We are still standing and we are still strong. We will not give up on Liberia. We will not give up on our people. And we will never give up on CDC. We are the party of the slums and the city. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the protectors of the poor and the defender of their dreams. From New Cruton to Peaceville, from Buchanan to Bond Mines, from Sunny Quarter to Southtown, the CDC remains in the hearts of the people. This rally is a clear sign. We are reorganizing, we are preparing, we are coming back. I say to you, we are coming back. But in order to do that, we must build a strong, together we must fortify the one institution that can correct the failure of the Bouaka administration. And that institution is the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. This is why I call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act. Not just to hope, but to build. Let us invest in the movement that has invested in you. Let us pay our due so that the party remains financially and politically prepared. Your dues are more than money. They are a seed of commitment, a pledge of loyalty, and a symbol of hope. I am so proud to launch this due payment campaign today because it means that you, the grassroots, you, the real owner of this party, are ready to step forward, take charge, and prepare for the future. As your political leader, I promise you this: we will not rest, we will not retreat, we will organize, mobilize, and energize until we reclaim the leadership of Liberia. But let us do it the CDC way, peacefully, lawfully, strategically, and respectfully. Because when our time comes and aid will come, believe me, we must be ready not just to win, but to govern better. We must correct the wrongs, improve the system, and restore the dignity of the Liberian people. So let us unite, let us rise, let us believe, and let us build. And to all our young people, I say, stay focused, stay clean, stay strong. To our women, you are the backbone of this movement. Keep rising. To our elders, your wisdom is still needed. Stay with us. And to our opponents, we see the failure and we are coming to face it. Again, as the great Nelson Mandela said in a quote, it always seems impossible until it is done. Unquote. The party is alive, strong and mighty. The revolution shall continue. A belief we will uphold to death. The future is not beyond us. The future is still ahead. And together we will get there. And so I want to close with this advice. Wait well. Liberia and Liberians will call on you again. And therefore, be prepared to win again and lead again. Remember, we are the common people. So let us all unite for the betterment of our country and our people.
Liberia, like I said, is one of the best countries in the world, whether you believe it or not. You understand? Yeah, it's a small country. It's one of the best countries. You know, we are very good people. And then I think what we should strive for is for our country to survive. You know, and that's why we promote peace in our country. You know, for so many years we've been promoting peace. And people that brought war still continue to have the face and idea of discrimination. This is wrong, and we will not sit as citizens of this country. I was in opposition before. I faced this thing before, and then of course I'm in opposition. We'll put check to that.
Wow. And these things happen in the wake of these turbulent times. You know, the economic hardship is very high, and there were people that you may have placed on payroll and so forth here and there, but these are Liberians. In the wake of all of these hardships, they have been taking off jobs, and some of them could be angered by that and take matters into their own hands. And you are a man of peace, and if they did support you and they are suffering because they are associated with you, people have been taking up tenure positions. Whoever associated with you, either directly or indirectly, they have been taking up jobs. These things could anger people and they could take matters in their own hands. What say you to this? Yeah.
Maybe the international community that were reminding us to make sure that we don't break the rules and regulations. They are still there. And we have to respect the laws of the Republic. That's what we did. When I was in power, when they tell me that no, this is a tenure position, you cannot move the person until their tenure expire. So be it. That's the law. We can't break the law. So I hope that the government will take heed. It's important to respect the law of the Republic. We're not a democratic period. So we need to respect the law. All we look for is to respect the law, and that's what we did.
Looking at the common people are losing their jobs at various places as well. Not just only tenure position holders. They are the one that feeling the pinch the most. They got nothing.
AB, when you are angry and you let the wrong people thinking that they are the savior, is wrong. You understand? We were in opposition before. If you employ poor people that have the minimum, and somebody come to power and believe that because they associate with other people, they have to be taking a job. This is very bad. That's not good. No leader can do that. You know. And what, $50 job, $100 job? You mean the government that come to power, that came to rescue, cannot even give a $50, $100 job or lead a citizen on that job? This is wrong. It's wrong. Everything that they're doing wrong, and we know that. You know, but again, the peace of Liberia is the most important. It's the most important, and that's why we in accordance with the law. You know, this is wrong. People supported the Unity Party. I came to power. I left them there. These are citizens of the country. But you can employ a Senegalese man, and you refuse to employ a Liberian. Is that what it is? No, it's wrong. It's wrong. Everything that they're doing is wrong, AB. The disrespect is wrong. Breaking our laws is wrong. And the old men know that. Bwaga know that. Bwaga know that. When we were there, the Bwaka, we used to go to him and even feed Bwaka because of his title. You know what I'm saying? Make him comfortable because of a title. But you see what he's doing? You get a lot of gangsters around here and thinking that Liberia is afraid of gangsters. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Wow. But you should be concerned as well. Why it is true that you're in opposition, you should be concerned. You also have a responsibility to maintain the peace of the country. Though the burden has shifted on the government to maintain the peace.
AB, I've always kept the peace of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
During Ellen time, I've kept the peace. During President Dota, I kept the peace. Amos Oyotan, I kept the peace. Charles Taylor, I kept the peace. I have never broken anything in this country. I work for peace in our country, and I'm on record. Even the United Nations know that I work for peace. So I'm not trying to break the peace. What I'm telling you that those people that say they came to rescue us, they are breaking the laws of the Republic, and it is wrong. If you can't see it, AB, it is wrong. It is wrong. Because in the government that I serve, tenure position was respected. Today, you can say that you're taking the person off because he associated with somebody. No, but you see, we are different. The respect I have for Ellen Johnson, I kept that respect. And the respect I kept for her, to respect the laws of the Republic. I even worked with Ellen Johnson as a peace ambassador. You understand? So, I don't have a issue of keeping the peace of the country. Of course, we are peaceful, but we will not allow people to break our laws and then intimidate people, and we just sit. That would never happen. You know, we in opposition. Ellen Johnson, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, let me give her the respect because that's somebody that I respect so much. She did some things that we disagree, and we went to her and spoke to her. By the rule of law, you know, we have the right to protest, and we protest. We went to Ellen, and she understood that. She came on the table and we talked. You understand? They respecting leaders that are traveling, and you refuse for them to use the laws that they built, and Liberians say that and say, yeah, it's right. No, it's not right. If the Bwaka man, he was not even president, and we gave him a VIP all the time he's traveling. What you're doing is wrong, and you need to wake up. Those things are wrong. Those things are wrong. Everyone said that. You want that change? Waka was not a change. Waka was never the change. Those few people that believe that all the years, almost 171 years, they left this country, they wanted to come back because of where they went, there was no greener pasture. They think that they can get in Liberia and lie, say they came for a change. There's never came for a change. Why they changing? To break the laws is why they changing? No. There will be a period and we will check. But again, like I said to all citizens, and that's what you saw today, in the ring, go to have your program and be peaceful. Enjoy yourselves. Be together, recalibrate. You know what I'm saying? Regain the people confidence. And Liberians are there. You got some sound Liberians that believe that we were the right group. Yes, I'm not saying that everything was roses. No, but we fought for this country in the midst of pandemic. Liberia shine amongst a great nation. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So the disrespect to our citizens is wrong. It's wrong. You know, it's wrong. Respect the law. And I did not bring 10 jobs. We met it. The Unity Party left it with us, and we respected it. So what's going on? Is it that Waka angry because during Ellington there were 10 jobs, and he want to break it because you are not happy? Is that why he's saying to us? Because the 10 job, I didn't do it. I made it there, and I respected the laws of the republic. And also, thank you for this time, for giving the opportunity. But there will be a time I hope that our people realize that we made a mistake. We made a mistake. We're in a new era, and they send us back to the old era.
Well, let me say a pleasant good morning and a warm welcome to your program. Talk about it on Kings 88.5. On Talk About It, we discuss issues of national concern. We bring them on the table, and for you there in Radio Land, the time to be a part of the program by putting forth your comment, your suggestions and recommendations, the way forward. On our best, we can move our country, Mama Liberia. We disagree though, but we found a common ground and force ahead as a people. Please be my guest. Today is Tuesday, the 10th day
of March 2026. And my name is Israel. Where we are seeing. I'd like to say welcome, and let's have a wonderful time together as usual. Let's take a gist of our theme song, come back, of course, we talk. Well, thank you so kindly. Thank you so much. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the peace-loving and resilient people of our dear country, Mama Liberia, across the 15th of political division of the Republic of Liberia. I greet you all this morning with clarity and extension. Those of you across Montserrado County within the 17 electoral districts, I'd like to say good morning to all of you wonderful and loving people. Maybe you're on your way to school, you're on your way to your business area, you on your way to your 1212 hustle ground, you're on the keke, you're on the motorbike, you're on a private or commercial vehicle, and you are in tune to Kings 88.5. Let me say good morning to all of you wonderful people. Those of you across the country following us by way of the social media or by radio, I'd like to say good morning to every one of you. And it is indeed a great pleasure and honor to be here. And those of you across the world in the diaspora, let me say good morning to all of you. Good morning to you wonderful people. And we very happy to be here today again. So those of you with us in class, as usual, I'd like to say good morning to all of you. I'd like to say good morning to all of you and like to welcome you this morning. Emmanuel G. Davis, good morning. Welcome. You're there in on the Tusafi Road. James Laming, you're in Jemo Kiambokon Jure Sino Comfort. Jeremy Duet, you're fathering from where I don't know, but thank you for coming on the show. Princess L. Peters, how are you this morning? Agatha Glasgow, the class prefect. You're there in the Tinkers Village RIA area where the common citizen children lived. Kwewiling Allison, you joining us from Harper City, Maryland County. Frederick Okono Defo, you're joining us from Baptist Seminary, Rabbits Fee Highway. Guyalo February Mountain, you're joining us from the Douala St. General Market. Emmanuel and Sewon, you joining us from your Carway resident. As a matter of fact, you came in the city yesterday from Greenville, Sino Comfort. Thank you for the wonderful job that you do for CDC in Sino Comfort. The female General Dorcas Billy, the philanthropic and humanitarian, you're there in Phoenix, Arizona, USA. Welcome. Mohamed Bangali Dolly, thank you for coming on the show. Josh Johnson, you're following us from Douala, Achitape, as usual. You're following us from Dallas, Texas. Ambassador Moses Sisse Jr. How are you this morning? Malu F. Fufana, thank you for joining us from your 20th Street resident. Big brother Peric Slubbert, thank you for joining us from the state of New Jersey, USA. James Papi, how are you, my dear brother? Yude Chivo Adama Kane, thank you for joining us from Buto Sano Comfort. Danishos Moluba, thank you for joining us from the Baby Man Junction. Stanley Bling, you're following us from Chaplin, Minnesota. Stanley, good to have you this morning. Charles Weir, you're following us from Jacob Town. Asari Kane, you're joining us from the Republic of Ghana. Jeremiah Flomo Tokwa Labla, Soul Clinic Gazak. George Watkins Jr., thank you for joining us from the headquarters of Honorable Solomon Chipo in District 13, Moserado County. Prince Ducle, you're joining us from the Comsane United Methodist School campus. Sinan Dakosak Magza, you're following us from Dambala Town, Fokpa District, Grand Cape Man County. Flexible General, that's J. Ansu Coleman, you're following up from Clay District, Bombing County. How's your darling wife doing? Precious Dakuka, my own loving and dear sister, you're joining us from your Tinkers Village, Soya Beach community resident. Oxting Hearth, you're joining us from your Old Road Sinkot resident. Kobo Widow, you're joining us from Kakata Margibi Kamtik. Royal Orwix Va, you're joining us from D3, your Propo resident. Bapin Paulie, you're joining us from Johnsonville. Rabos Asnot PS, Assalamu alaikum. You're joining us from the city of Philadelphia. Edwin Pangwa, you're joining us from where? Otomasing Wiakofa, you're joining us from your Upper Carway, Samuka Road resident. William W. Wulu, you are the official spokesperson of the Civil Rights Movement, the Liberian Civil Rights Movement, and you're joining us from your Upper Carway resident. Faith Kevin Bapping, you're joining us from Nimba United. Heron Tito Jr., thank you for joining us from your resident there in Carway. Emmanuel Kwei, thank you for joining us. Papi S. Keita, you're there in Dupo Road. Benjamin Basso King Joe, thank you for joining us. Renee Morris, thank you so kindly for joining us this morning. And the other folks, Ambassador Thomas Edition Blamo, you're joining us from your Mount Barkley Cooper Farm resident. Moses Smo, you're joining us from Brixton, Pennsylvania, USA. Mount Rebecca Kasayan, political religion. You're joining us also. Mayo Talu, I like that. She put the flag of Israel by my name. I made a minute on behind me. Mayu Talu, you joining us from Dex Mornings USA. Patricia Jipla, you following us from Kroderekpo, Nuku Town. Patrick Kennedy, is this Patrick Budu Kennedy? The political dietitians, you're joining us from Australia. Christopher Sharp, you're joining us from your Fender Community Jews on Road. James Dewey Droba Wemily, thank you for joining us. As a matter of fact, you are joining us from where? From Banga, and he continued to say to us, please establish sub branch in Banga. And we get to, my brother. We got all these recommendations. It's going to work in a couple of days. James John Kekula Smo, you following me from Jamestown, North Dakota, USA. George Johnson, you're joining us from Douala. The rest of you, man, we want to say good morning. When I say the rest of you, I mean anybody. Oh, okay, I call everybody. You know, thank you for joining us this morning on the show. Yeah, Tia. Thank you for joining Tia. That Tia and Tia. Benjamin. Okay, we agree with Benjamin. Robert Steve, protagonist Keto Genium. Thank you for joining us. From your Carisborough resident, Papa. Natus Ophelia there. Thank you for joining us from your Battery Factory era. Morris S. Quay. You're joining us from Waterside. And we are grateful and thankful to God for all of you. Those of you following us on YouTube, we also want to say good morning and welcome as usual. Brown Yamfo, welcome. Elijah Ponke from Foya City, Lofa County, welcome. Richard Pe, welcome. You in Maryland. Josephine Toba, welcome. You there in Oro. Prince Niwili, I'd like to say welcome. You following us from Grand Jita County, Zweju. Jacob Bada, I'd like to say welcome. You following us from the United Arab Emirates. I just hope and pray that you are safe. So we are excited to be here. And as the others will be joining us, we'll greet them. I see the CEO, the effort potent CEO that continue to escape contempt charges. Mumbo Formula. I don't care what you do, my brother. The contempt will hold you. And you know it's tantamount to a lot of farms. The CEO, how you doing? Mumbo Formula. You're there in the US. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Welcome. Test September. Welcome. Dauda Vanik Sharif. So it's good to be here this morning. I'm very happy. I'm very jollified. I'm amplified. And I'm lifted in my spirit to be here. And somebody can ask me, Israel, where that strength, where the charisma, where it's coming from? It's coming from God. It's coming from not from men. It's from God, because God is the one that will give us grace. And so we want to thank God for all of you. You know, the time has changed in the US. Yeah, 5 hours different. 5 hours, the time has changed. That's why I say America side heaven, because the thing can change. The time has changed. So some people will be going to work, and you know, they will make the presentation, they will come back, and then of course they will follow. That is good. And so it's not easy. It's not easy. You don't take your job likely in the US. No, you don't do it in Australia, in Europe. No, you don't take it likely. Because the white men have value to service. And when they talk about service, they talk about time. Time is of the essence. So they have value to time. Because we have time, you know, there will be no money, because time na money. Time na money. So you need to spend time to get money. If you spend 16 hours on the job, extra time is extra money. So you see, time is of the essence. And so some of you go to work, you want to be hiding, pull your earpiece and squeezing yourself under the decks because you don't want to be absent from the happenings in Liberia. And I must applaud you for that. I must thank you for that. The love for country. That's part of your year spending it. I was talking to a brother from the ANC last night, a good friend of mine. He been out of the country 30 years. You know, and he's a sympathizer of the ANC, and he had the strong belief of the opposition. And I hope to be talking to him Saturday. His job can permit him. There are a lot of you out there that are so much concerned about Liberia, and we must applaud you. We must appreciate you, because all that you do You don't turn down and say, I will be American and I will abandon being Liberian. No, you are still Liberian. And I love it and I appreciate it. That is why we pray for you and prayed with you. It's not easy. Some of you now, you're on the farm as we speak, but you still get yourself glued to the internet. Some of you, you are sleeping and then you have your alarm. You get the notification. You are eager to be a part of the presentation. That's not because you're not doing it for us. You are doing it for your country as we are doing it for the country. Not for an individual, but for Liberia. That's the bigger picture. And that is why we are strengthening every day by grace to come, to sit behind this microphone and to propound, to engage the Liberian people. We bring a very huge level, a huge strong force of momentum to this behind this microphone. Because, I want Liberia to be better. I want Liberia to be on par with the Committee of Nations. I want Liberia to be seen as a place of democracy, the respect for the rule of law. So when it is broken down, when it is been tampered with, it is incumbent upon some of us to come here and erect the checkpoint and say, no, this is not it. It was not so from the beginning. So our coming on the radio is not to just, say the bad things about the government. What we say is the truth. Nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. If I ask you Liberians, all of you in Radio Land, all of you listening, you on Keke, you on car, some of you, the United Party people, you there, all of you, you are there. You think you want Liberia to be like this? No, you don't want Liberia to be like this. You don't want our country to be like this. You want Liberia to get better. You want Liberia to improve. You want the life of the ordinary people to improve. You want things to be better for the people, not for an individual. Do you want to see a country, a government where they are selective? When it comes to their people, they will say go. When it comes to the opposition, they will say hold them, light on them, school them. So you can see from all indication that they are not real. They are not real. They are telling you one thing and they are doing another thing. They are telling you when it comes to our people, we will tell them to go. When it involves anybody that got CDC behind them, get Joe we are behind them, we will lie on them, we will prosecute them, we will not allow them to go. But every time I come on the radio, I try to enlighten your mind. There was something the president said. I like to enlighten your mind. Well, I'll come here. What happened to my yeah, man. It can be there, can people better. There are a lot of things unfolding in our country. Everywhere you go, people everywhere, everybody want to crap. Everybody want to cry. In fact, people are crying everywhere. But the question that others will be asking, look around you. I like to be truthful to people. Look around you. Liberians in the diaspora, Liberians here, look around you. Be honest to yourself. When the CDC, when they were in power, when United Party was there for 12 years, when Joseph Boakai came for 12 years first as vice president, when Boakai came as vice president for 12 years under Madam Sirleaf. Let's be honest to ourselves. United Party had 12 unbroken years. Joseph Boakai served as vice president for 12 unbroken years in our country. Look look around. The time United Party were in power, when Madam Seli, who today calling for bad things to happen to the ordinary people, so that they can destroy this country good and take everything like what they did in 12 years. Look around. Things that came when George Weah was here, that was on the ground. Okay, let's leave George Weah. United Party were here for 12 years under Madam Seli. You know how much money the government received? Joseph Bakari received here, Madam Seli. They are government for 12 years, the United Party. Billions of dollars they received. We have 17,000 international peacekeeping force in our country. 17,000. The US dollar were wasting. It was during the United Party time. People say, yeah, Madam Seli tried. But a lot more was expected of Madam Seli, of the United Party. The United Party, yeah, they pushed a little, but you expected more of Madam Seli under her leadership at that time when money was coming plenty. But the things that to expect the life of the ordinary people, did the United Party going about doing anything under Madam Seli? You think Madam Seli was not traveling? Madam Seli was traveling. She was traveling out of the country. There were few roads that Madam Seli built. There were few infrastructure that Madam Seli put into place. There were few things that she did that I must appreciate her for. Few things that she did. Those anti-graft institutions that were established Madam Seli's time. I must appreciate her for that. A lot more was expected of Madam Seli. But listen, the common people, think for the common people, did Madam Seli do any of them? When Madam Seli and Joe Baka were here for 12 years, West Point was stayed there. West Point had that dirty football fee that the people can go pack their woo and be packing, and the hospital, the clinic were right there. For 12 years, that Clarendon fee was there. That old fee was there. When West Point is going to play football, when they have to go play up, in fact, they don't play in West Point. They got to go outside West Point because there is no football fee to play, to entertain their guests. So they have to matriculate to another locale to be able to play. Madam Seli was here. The United Party was here for that 12 years. Nukuta was there. The D12 fee was there for 12 years. Under Madam Seli, 12 years. D12 football fee was there. Tusa fee. That all football fee was there. In Gardner's Bay, Tusa fee. Madam Seli and Joseph Baka was here for 12 years. They were here for 12 years. The Banjo Road, they were here for 12 years. The Lockington Road, they were here for 12 years. Madam Seli denied the late Evelyn Lawrence the opportunity to get that road paved. The Lockington Broad Street Road, she was here for 12 years. Baka was here for 12 years. It was one, I think, construction company that tried to build a small lake play right to the bridge. Where they bay, I know they say what in the bay. They said that I know that park of that children playground. What? Madam Seli, the only thing that they pay for children right across the Gabriel Tucker Bridge. If you go there, children don't even go there. Maybe when our Islamic brothers and sisters are having something there where they can go gradually, but they make use of the Clarendon fee. Go and see Clarendon. Clarendon football fee was a modern era. In fact, the whole Clarendon was dejected. It was isolated. Madam Seli was here for 12 years. Joseph Baka was here for 12 years. I'm showing you, I'm telling you something so that you know. All these little roads that were built in the city connected, Madam Seli was here. Joe Baka was with Madam Seli for 12 years. The rehab area, they were here for 12 years. The Rebels International Road, they were here for 12 years. The military was here for 12 years. The AFL we have today, they were here for 12 years. Bapolu was here. All the other counties were here. Nimba, Lofa. They were here for 12 years. The issue about WASFI, Madam Seli had plenty and surplus of money that her government was going to stay in the gap and say, we will pay for 9th grade, we will pay for 12th grade, we will pay until our 2-year finish for, we will pay the WASFI of these children whose parents are struggling. They were here. They were here. They make it to appear that the LU only the Dickinsons, the Jacksons, the Johnsons, the Pearsons, the McIntosh can go to the LU. No common old man are selling pepper color can send her daughter or her son to LU or her grandchildren. They make it look to be difficult. Oh, they were here for 12 years. Madam Salif travel, Baka travel. They saw housing units in other areas. No, they were here for 12 years. Did we experience housing unit Ben Bay in the counties? Ben Bay for the ordinary people? Did we experience it? Madam Salif was here. She saw all the wars. She was beyond most of the trouble and anything that came to our country. Her name will appear. They will call her name. Madam Salif was set in. She didn't go to the executive mansion after that fire incident. But Madam Salif, she will stay and look straight to the beach in PHP. Then her mind will go back to the 13 men that were executed. She said that's how that place will be like. That place will be a graveyard. Nothing will happen. Oh, Madam Salif lived right to Fish Market. The old Barrow or no Barrow Prate Ground, IE Prate Ground, it was there. That was a poo-poo site, a dump site where people go to defecate. People go to ease themselves. That place, the Fish Market, it was there. Right before the house of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the woman that I called the Maradona of Liberian politics, she was here. The man Solomon, she and Kokodioko were here. She was here for 12 years. Kokodioko was here for 12 years. Two of them were there. The things that should affect the ordinary people, they were not interested in it. No, it was not their concern. Their concern was to enrich themselves. Their concern was to put money in the pockets of their children. Was to buy the best homes outside Liberia. They were not concerned of you, the pepper color. The old man whose daughter needed to go to the LU. No, they made LU so difficult that it was not for the ordinary people children. It was for the elite, the so-called progressive. So they make it to look difficult that you can't afford to send your children to LU. They were here for 12 years. They were here for 12 years and the CEC was here. There is no political party that can brag that it was on the ground as compared to CDC. CDC was here for 12 years. In fact, Madam Salif authorized her people in the presence of Ombe. They brutalized seditions, killed them in cold blood, slaughtered them, collected their bodies and carried it. Madam Salif was here. But CDC stand. They are still standing strong because it is the way of life. It's more than structure. It's more than debating. It is the people. Now, let me tell you, ordinary Liberians, so that you understand this thing here today. Look, if you think that Joe Baka, if you think this old man is here to transform something for you, the common people, you lied. Joe Baka is not here to transform your life. He's not here to make it better for you and your children. He's not here to set that path for the ordinary people. No. Joe Baka still carry the Ellen Johnson mentality. Joe Baka is still carrying the Ellen Johnson mentality. He's still being controlled and cajoled by the Madam Salif mentality. That's why he's still carrying this old man. That's why you see today, the old man has deviated and see himself as not part of the ordinary people because he came from CWA. And CWA is for the elite. It's not for the ordinary people. Oh, man, I'm sending Bonnie where to sing or something or CWA or a daughter. So Baka see himself as not part of the ordinary people. He sees himself as part of the so-called progressive. So he cannot go your way. That is why they didn't encourage. That's why Madam Salif was not moved to go to the community Clavertown because they saw that community as a slum community. Community of people who are uneducated. Community of people who will never profit in life, who will never, that was their mindset about the ordinary people. They saw the people in Nuku Town, in Lokin Town, in Corware, in Douala, in Satan, and Oro. They saw you as the ordinary people who will never make life. They were never thinking that your kids will go to the US. No, they never had the slight knowledge that your brothers would travel to the Americas. They would go to Canada. They would go to the UAE. They would go to Australia. They would go out there, they will establish. No, they were not in the know. All they thought that our brothers and sisters will bow down to them. So they abandoned all those areas where the commoners were living, where the grassrooters are, where the ordinary people are, where you can find the bony seller, you can find the color seller, you can find the old man selling her little wrapper, telling her lapper. Those were the areas the ordinary people are located. They said, but we can't go out there. Those places, they are not our peers. We will not educate their children. Their children will be our slaves. They will pick up the crumbs that will fall from our table. We will not educate them. So they abandon you. They were only after themselves. How to share from EAWA to Central Monrovia. Oh, they were living around the Mama Point area. Oh, those areas were good for them. The sinker. Oh, yes. They abandon you. When I see some of you in the drug community in the Clareton area, today you have that mouth to open and insulting George Weah. You have that mouth to be celebrating against somebody who made you, who brought value to you, who brought some sense of responsibility to you, that today people can troop through your community and you can have access to paved roads. I see you today that you putting your mouth on George Weah. So if Madam Selig, with all the billions of dollars that came to this country, why she didn't prioritize the people of Clareton, the people of Doe community? Why Madam Selig didn't prioritize the people of Lokentown? They row in Lokentown. They row in Banjo. They row in Rehab. Why she didn't prioritize the people all across the country? Those common things that were important. Madam Selig travel. That old man travel. The things that Madam Selig have not come across parks that are bare where children will go. Madam Selig grandchildren will go to parks. They will go there and enjoy themselves. But she come back to the country and say, no, these people don't deserve it. No, they don't deserve it. Our kids are not here. Our children cannot come here. So they don't deserve it. What am I saying to you? All the noise, all the crying you're crying around here, until you open your eyes. Until you open your eyes. Look, let me tell you, George Weah then came. God brought this man to open your eyes to reality. That's why we call him Godsentient. We don't call him politician. That's why he's not a politician. God brought George Weah to open your eyes to things that you were not in the know of. Things that was very important, significant to your uplifting and your livelihood. That Madam Selig and the rest of the folk Joe Baker deny you. You will ask yourself, they had a 2-week party here for all those years. They couldn't build one pack. They couldn't help the military. They couldn't help the police. Now, places that they abandoned when they were there, because you, the ordinary people, they noticed that all the places you were living. When our poor to Johansi, from Johansi, they took them to carry them to Krodereport, Nuku Town. Our people living Bishop Bro, Jalatan. Our people living Oro. Our people living car factory. Our people living Lokentown. Our people living to Chicken Soup factory. Our people living to West Point. Our people living to Innocent. So they saw you as ordinary people. That's why they denied your children the opportunity. Lord, let me tell you, when Madam Selig were in power and Joe Baker was vice president, you know that many people couldn't, they would tell you, say, I can't afford to send my children to LU. I don't get money to send them. When the children graduate from high school, they will either go start selling. Because the old man can't afford to send her daughter to LU. Because they make it to look that LU is not for the old man that can sell color or children. No. It's not for that old man who children go to, and they're looking for what to do. No. They make it to appear that the ordinary people are not tied to LU. It's for the progressive children. They deny you all those opportunities. You ask yourself, Madam Selig was there for 12 years. Joe Baker was there for 12 years. Why the things that was important to the ordinary people that they were badly in need of, why they didn't prioritize them? But they went for things that was for their group, for their elite, that will benefit their associate. Those were the things that they were going for. And they were running to you, giving you peanuts, and you felt it was okay. Now, John Weah, listen, let me tell you, this thing is not a fight. It's not a fight. We're not fighting over anything. What we try to prove is to make our people understand that, look, open your eyes. Open your eyes. God will not make a mistake. Open your eyes. When Madam Selig when she left power, she turned power over to George Weah. She turned power over to George Weah. Joseph Baker wanted to contest because he felt he was qualified to beat George Weah because he served as 12 years as vice president. So he thought he would beat George Weah. But Joe Baker was part of the old order. He was part of the old order. They didn't prioritize the things of the ordinary people. They all abandoned the ordinary people. They all prioritize their so-called progressive and elite. They all saw the ordinary people as outcasts. Joe Baka wanted to come to power. He couldn't. The Liberian people said, no, we can't bring you. You part of Madam Salif. If Madam Salif were not a rat, and you, Joe Baka, just imagine, Baka was vice president. He couldn't tell Madam Salif that there was a need to pave the road in rehab. Joseph Baka was vice president for 12 years. He couldn't tell Madam Salif, Omar, there's a need for all to put street lights in the rehab area from the junction all the way. We can connect these smaller communities in rehab. Joe Baka was there for 12 years. He will pass in the dirty water and go home. He had no interest in the people. Now, look at the difference. Oh, yeah, we say, yeah, Madam Salif built 1 or 2 roads, few roads. Madam Salif built some infrastructure, yes. Madam Salif set up the anti-graft institution, yes. But did Madam Salif venture with the issue of housing unit? Did Madam Salif venture with the issue of park? The issue of hospital for the military? Madam Salif, she said the way the AFF flock, the thing they did to her in her barry, she gave him pour that knee in her head. Eh? Madam Salif thought about we can carry a referral hospital in the western region and drop it down in Bopolu, and that those in the western region will benefit. Madam Salif had a slack thinking. The money was there. That Madam Salif, in her thinking, said that PHP Park, we can transform it from graveyard to a place of celebration and turn that entire environment into a commercial hub. The money was there, but Madam Salif was not thinking about it because she had nothing to do with it. Clareton football fee, it was important to put football fee. But Madam Salif was in the know that where George we are coming from Gibraltar, that we saw to go, that dirty, nasty place, where the Helions are living, that's how they call our people, that where I will go, that me will pass road over there to get people access, so their kids can go to school, so they can learn, so they can start, they can have the opportunity to can challenge our people. No, we'll not do it. Let it be in their dirty water. 12 years, Madam Salif was there. Madam Salif knew that the people of West Point was here, no football fee. She knew about the people in Nukutan. She knew about the people in Sino, in Grand Crew, in Maryland, in Lofa. That our people were living in huts, in mud houses, and they needed housing units. Our children could not afford to go to school, and there were possibilities to send many of them to the LU for the ordinary people, but they make it to look so. They make it to look that LU was looking the devil. Nobody can go there, only them. When George Weah came to power, you see, many of you now, you're not thinking that, but George Weah was all right. George Weah was all right. Joseph Baka, who was Sir Madam Salif for 12 years, they signed all those book of concession. He was in the Senate. George Weah came to power. Look at the difference. That is why hurting President Baka. That is why hurting the old man so many making statement. We're not here to follow people's agenda. We're not here to do. So here, that is why you see the men want everywhere that George Weah government constructed to destroy. That old man where you see. Now you're Joseph Baka. And you're there sitting there say, yo, with J all of and AB, after AB and age, after it will grab all the one with J then. You're looking for Poto J, you can't go J, your family. You're looking for Poto go, you go J, your people then. That's stealing the country money. George Weah came to power. Look at the difference now. Look at the difference. A party that spent 12 years in power didn't prioritize the ordinary people. Look, let me tell you, something when you're doing for people in the community, don't think that the thing affecting them. No. There are things in that community that the people badly in need of. That is why sometimes when people will go there, they will ask you, what the thing that you want? The thing you want, the main thing you want me to do in your community. People tell you, say, oh, the meeting in the community, we get toilet, oh. We get toilet. We want toilet, all we'll be chunking plastic, oh. The major thing in the community, everybody say, oh, we want it. The things that were bothering our people, Madam Salif was not after it. Because Madam Salif know the beneficiary of anything built in any of the community will be the commoners, will be the common people, will be the grassroots. So why the essence of going to Bay Road in Clareton, when the people in Clareton that will benefit, that people we consider as nobody, nothing good will come out of their life. Nobody will come from Clarendon. Nobody will come from Doe community. That is the way they were thinking about our people. Who think who will come from Looking Town? We think who can come from West Point? That fishermen will come from West. They downplay the ordinary people. They make you to look stupid. Then they put you against yourself, against each other. Do you ask yourself, Joe Baker was vice president, why he didn't convince Manaseli to put Roy into a community? Let be the football fee on 2 Safi. Even the woman her own horse, dump her there. She will see church people praying. That woman will get in your car. All the church when the helium they are praying. Madam Sally will lead the old man in the sun and go to work as president. That your president. That your man Salif. That your man Solomon. She or Coco Dioko. She will look at the old man. Ready for the woman her. Ready for Madam Saliva. That dumper was there. That dirty play poo all over there. In front of her horse, president of the country. In front of her horse, she will see that all the old man will come and pray. Praying for Liberia. Madam Sally will get in your car. She go. She had no time for anybody. You think she couldn't bear something over there for the ordinary people? She couldn't bear something for the prayer mothers? But she see these people, they coming from West Point, they coming from Nuguda, they coming from Oro. People now coming based on the ever. Yeah, be in the sun and pray. Find one tapoli and get rid of the people. Yeah, they be in the sun. Those were all people that were praying for this country. That Madam Sally came for 12 years. She enjoyed herself. And she wake up today and say they must break people's homes down. They must seize people's land. In fact, churches in this country, they have left fully churches. They just paying churches, and those church people, they are not part of the old order because the people are not part of their fraternity. And so she condemned the church in the country, but it is the church that pray for her today. She where she is, and she stays strong. But she had the audacity to insult the church. I don't blame her. I blame those people who think that she's the God. They were one of them said they brought Queen Sheba here, but the very day my bishop hit the country, she ran away. When Bishop Yerepo entered Labro, Queen Sheba run away. It was honor Madam Sally. She was the one that brought devil to our country and said, so we can initiate Liberia. Now, when Bishop hit the country, the woman, nobody know how Queen Sheba left this country. She saw power greater than power. She ran away. George Weah became president. Look around. Why would George Weah think about the ordinary people? George Weah had this plan. This thing something was in his mind. Because of love for country. Because George Weah, God was preparing him for a purpose. George Weah didn't end in high school. Opportunity came away, he got to go out of the country. Brought smile to millions of people across the world. He carried the wayward and blue. At no time did George Weah abandon the wayward and blue. No, it was his prayer. George Weah had the opportunity to naturalize himself as somebody, as French citizen, maybe Italian. George Weah had the ability. Everybody wanted George Weah. Who would not want good thing? Who would not want good thing? There are stations that will want me to go. George Weah was marketable. Everybody wanted him. Why George Weah decided not to deny his country? He carried the way white and blue all through. All through. Because God was preparing somebody. God was preparing somebody that will open the eyes of the ordinary people to know that there is a need for you to be together, hold together, because you are the one they are fighting. They're not fighting George Weah. They're not fighting him. They are fighting you in West Point. They are fighting you in Looking Town. They are fighting you in Clarendon, Doe community, in Johnson Bay. You are the one they are fighting, not Weah. Now, they will fight you by dividing you. When you are divided, you will not stand. George Weah went outside the country. You know what I'm breaking this thing in? To open your eyes. You will passing around here, Joseph Baker. Baker will not do anything for you. Baker will not do anything. If Baker can make a kind of statement, what his statement said? If Joseph Baker will say, we didn't come here to follow somebody else's agenda. We came to set a new agenda for the country. We didn't come here to follow somebody else's agenda. Someone else's agenda. Well, we're not here for it. We came here to set a new agenda for the country. The new agenda is to collect your land. The new agenda is to drive you out of the city. The new agenda is to free their people and prosecute seditions. The new agenda is for Joe Baker to take the country money and go buy his house in Lofa and take the yellow machine and give it to a relative, and at the detriment of the people of Nimba who suffer and made him president. That's a new agenda. They are not here. They say we didn't come here to follow someone else's agenda. No, we here for George Weah agenda that want to seek the interest of your. No, we're not here for George Weah agenda that will open your eyes. No, we're not here for George Weah agenda that will make you to be to sit among the elite, to drink with us. No, we're not here. I will champion a new agenda. That is why Madam Sally said they are not part of the old order. But Madam Sally, Joseph Baga said we here to set up a new agenda, not the one. We ain't coming follow George Weah. Because George Weah he made he made the university free. You are paying WAS fee for people. You are paying tax around. You're doing a lot of things, opening your eyes. No, we came here to set a new agenda for the country, and that a new agenda is been set. You can see it. You can see it. The new agenda is going against you, the ordinary people. George Weah left the country. George Weah came as president. You saw it. The thing that Madam Sirleaf would have done for this country in her 12 years, George Weah came in 1 year. He kicked up a massive initiative, developmental wise. In 1 year, George Weah had 4 years in his administration, 4 good years out of the 6 years, because 2 years were eaten by the Ebola virus. But George Weah make maximum use of the 4 years. The 4 years. The things that Madam Sirleaf refused to do, she and Joseph Baga, in 12 years, George Weah did it in 1 year. George Weah said, I came from Gibraltar. But I'm from Gibraltar. I'm from the slum community. If Madam Sirleaf was here as president, she couldn't build the rule. George Weah was connecting family heads. You ask yourself, you're in Clarita and Do community. Why Madam Sirleaf, who was there for 12 years, she and Baga, they abandoned you in Do community. They made that place to look like it was a demon ground, a place of serious people, that nothing good will come out of that place. Today, at Do community there, who got news to open up that place? It was George Weah, the commoner, somebody from nowhere, somebody from the slump. Because George Weah knew that the people of Do community needed to be connected to the poor of Clarita. George Weah was in the know. But the power was not there to do it. He thought that Madam Sirleaf, who had prioritized the basic issues of the ordinary people. But Madam Sirleaf, we don't want to pay road for you, so your children can go to school, so you can have access. You start running car while and start misbehaving. No, we will not do it. We will keep you in perpetual political slavery, and no one will come to emancipate you. But when George Weah came, our people experienced emancipation. They were taken from their stage of retrogressiveness. Today, look at Clarita. You can pass through Do community. You enter from either angle. You pass through there. You come up. Now, because of the road that George Weah built in Clarita and Do community, it opened that environment. People who had their land in Clarita, they went back to rebuild because there were roads. They went there to reconnect because they saw life. People became lively in that area. That, today, Do community Clarita can shine because we see road passing through our community after 100 years plus. Nobody passed road yet. The elite, the greedy girls and desperados, as they call themselves, the so-called progressive. Nobody thought about this place. It is a boy coming from the slum, a boy who sold copper and aluminium, a boy who took bottle, a boy, an ordinary boy as they consider him to be. He was the one that got endowed with the wisdom to change the paradigms of that community. Today, Clarita Do community is lively because a boy called George Weah, God used him to change that place. People who had their land in Do community, they went back to build because they saw life. They saw cars passing, things that they didn't see for 100 years. Things that their grandma, their grandpa, their money, they lived, they died. They didn't see it. The grandchildren was opportune to see it. Some people saw the road, joy, they died. Today, you can pass through Clarita, you can to Do community and go up to Japan Freeway. It was George Weah. Do you know for how many years the people were badly in need of road? And Madam Sirleaf and Joseph Baga were here for 12 years. The two party, all of them were here for 12 years. They abandoned the people. It was George Weah. It was George Weah. Madam Sirleaf knew that the people in Westman were playing on dirty fee. But why am I going to pay football fee to that people play? Who are the people in that area that went pay football fee for? It was George Weah that went back and said, yeah, we live with the people. I play football here. I play football here. I came here. I ate food here. I sat down with people. We laugh. We play checker. We play Lulu. Then I'm supposed to be president and there is no football fee. No. Today, go to West Point. Where we can get United Party making Bimo the commissioner over there acting like a power bid play. Nikutan. Joseph Bagaden went to Nikutan. They took votes from there. They were United Partisans that live in Nikutan. But they didn't ask Madam Salif, why are you helping the people to pay the fee? It was George Weah. Under George Weah that the football fee was transformed. It was more than lies. God had a reason why he brought Weah for 6 years, for 4 years. And that reason was to open the eyes of you, the ordinary people. But because you choose to be cajole, you choose to allow yourself to be vulgarized for those guys to charm you and they use messing on you to make you go against your own. That is why you see today you are going through what you are going through. If Joseph Baga will not look at Madam Salif and tell her, we need power, you think Joseph Baga will be president? You know the reason why you see him pretending that he won't do anything is because he want to prove something. That he said that Une job. But you're the man talking now. You're the man talking. We didn't come here to follow somebody else's agenda. Meaning that anywhere job we are big again, it will break down. We'll not face it. We'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that. But go see those areas. Look at Tusafi. John Weah used to go around to play football. Today, Tusafi is transformed. They got a sports page. The people can play on Tusafi. Or you can see it, man. Go to rehab. The military that Manaseli think that they did something to her. But she, all of them brought trouble on her. All of them. Oh, no one anything that she gave, they put $10,000 and she said she gave her humanitarian purpose. Manaseli Nina in money, baby, that she gave MPF 10,000. Because they're the same group that count the TRC, the same group, the same creed of God, the same people who say that they get a country. They say that Leo, who will bow for 6 years, who will bow for 30 years, Madam Selina stay here, put your money in our politics. She said, I will never do anything for the army. You know how much money came to this country? Our army, by this time, we should be using the latest jet that America is using. F-35, F-15, F-36. We really Sierra Leone, Guinea, them threatening us. Where they are nothing telephone jet bomber, they threatening or something that overstay, that even a fly can fall down, that Guinea threatening or the threatening always so. You think Madam Selita, we couldn't buy F-45? You think we couldn't get a long-range hypersonic missile? You think so? You think so? Manaseli was here with the printer money. Manaseli who are control all the equipment leave it all. Let's pay for it. Let it be here for our military. But that grudge, that hate she have with the army, she said, 4 years will not get. Look at when Armed Forces, look at the kind of weapon our AFL was using. Tactical operations, infantry battalions. When tactical people who understand terrain management, they can capture that thing within a twinkling of an eye. Our army using nothing for the two equipment, something that the Nazis were using, that it is still using. So why Guinea they will not threatening us? Guinea, Dumoya then threatening us because we get 4 bazooka. We don't even get a quad 10 good M60, 106, 105. We don't have it. We don't have enough. Look at that mortar. Give me more mortar. That paper and that in the point in the paper that day. More mortar. I said, we will be out. Why Guinea will not enter our country and misbehave on us? You think we will have hypersonic missile that can go to Conakry? You think they want to threaten us? No, they won't. They won't. But they didn't prioritize the military. Then somebody want the army to go for it. Where army go for it? We will beg Guinea. We will talk to Dumoya to cease fire. You don't come and stand there, Manaseli then said, and then do nothing for the army. And that man who told that man wake up and can't send or one F-11. No, we beg them. It was George Weah that talked about the army. Manaseli said, I will not do fun for you. And I do it to me in a barry. Manaseli kept gosh against that AFL where you see so. That your man solo me. Look, George Weah came as an eye opener for you. If you think say this Joe Baka meant for you, he will carry you to the promised land before you bab your eye, all of you out of the city. Joe Baka will repatriate you back to your village. No need for you to buy land. That's what they're saying. It is not you that's supposed to buy land. If you heard Madam Salif said they got empty lands and they just get the land wasting. If government can buy it, we use eminent domain and take it. But I see Madam Salif, you know how many empty land they get? You know how many empty, rusted, nasty buildings they get in the city they can't pin? That people are even in those houses and they stay maintaining it in the city because it is part of the elite. That is why Siafa couldn't succeed last year when he made a declaration that every house, every building in the city should be painted. He failed. You know why he failed? Because majority of those houses are owned by the so-called progressive. It is owned by the elite. It is owned by their group. You brave to go break the heart of the Dickinsons and the Jacksons and the Salif? Siafa Ewa? That is why Siafa failed miserably last year. He couldn't achieve. It was the ordinary people that they were forcing to pin their shop. Why did people then their gods were their bedding? Go see their bed. Go see their bedding. How that people bedding made a city so nasty and dirty. These one that call themselves the elite, the progressive. But check the full apostle. All the people pin their lace shop. All the boys them pin their small shop. Go down and go see it. But check the beddings. Check behind it. Look at the plaza that even owned by the Episcopal Church. They refuse to pin it. Why don't you go there to go tell them? You brave to go to the Episcopal Church and go tell them to go pin it? You brave? You brave? You brave to go to the Episcopal Church and tell them the plaza right over there where M2 is renting is owned by the Episcopal Church in Liberia. Why CFA they didn't go there to tell the people to pin that building? They able. They able. It is owned by the people. It is owned by those who claim that Liberia is for them. Look, John, we are opening your eyes. But many of you think, oh, you but you ask yourself today, you passing through Clarendon Doe community, you are passing there when Madam Sally was in power. You need to pass, and you to Doe community that stupid era, so more there. You thought about that place one day. You know who opened that place by the grace of God? That George Weah. That George Weah. Today, there are doctors, nurses, physician assistants, professionals, engineers, dietitians, technicians from the Doe community in Clarendon that are making airwaves in this country and across this country. Because George Weah gave them the opportunity. Today, many of them are able to go outside because their community has been accessible. It's accessible now. Man, I said, what they thought about you. Look at Lookington. Lookington Broad Street. Adolph Lauren, the late Adolph Lauren, my boss, when he was living, peace be unto his ashes. Madam Sally refused to pay that role because Adolph Lauren was part of CDC. She denied that man the opportunity while she was president. Lookington Broad Street Road was so dusted up. If you go into church over there, you carry 2 sets of clothes. When George Weah came to power, it changed. The people of Lookington eyes open. George Weah said, these people deserve it. Look, you know, you're the people that see yourself as Bele. You're not Bele. You're not Bele. If you unite yourself, if you come together, Joe Bakaden will understand that you people are serious. When John we are bathing the 14 military hospital, Madam Sedi was just watching. She was surprised. The Lord said EFCO will take place. At the end of the day, George Weah was able to set down a gigantic 14 military hospital for our army. First in the history of Liberia. Somebody told me that Israel, the army have mobile clinics. We clean it, the army have. You ever have clean it where? That man you tackle clean it in our community. You ever have clean it? We clean it. You ever have mobile clinic? We have mobile clinic we're talking about here. We're talking about something that will be there for generation to generation. Today, the AFF, the army they can, in their heart, they appreciate George Weah. That George Weah remember them. That the 14 military hospitals are saving lives. Go there. Go see our men and women in arms that are rendering services to humanity. They are saving lives. If that hospital was not built under George Weah, what would have happened to our people? George Weah opened the eyes of our people. Today, our military women, they will wait for their husband and to go hustle. No work to do. No skill, no potential. Nothing. Madam Clara Marie Weah said no. Not only the army men will bring money. No. It will make them to marginalize their wives. So what do? We will create possibilities. We will set up a vocational institution that will empower the wives of the army men so that they will know their value and they will not devalue their wives. Clara Marie Weah went in the barrier. She bear a vocational institution. Today, the wives of the armed men is learning. They are able to get basic skills in the area of pastry, cosmetology, other basic skills, and they are making their own money because you have leaders who were thinking about the ordinary people. Madam Sally was there. She ever? Joe Baka with Madam Sally. He ever? Look at the rehab where Joe Baka now lives. George Weah, this gone Sunday was sharing with the congregation. He saw a man that was so special, that have done the extraordinary, that have done so much. Look, John Weah, that the man, you do good 20 years to him, he will never forget it. That guy rendered assistant to Weah. You know what Weah said on the pulpit? Weah said, I was in the rehab. All the lead you see from Riyadh Junction coming in, all inside. That man provided all those solar lights. I'm paid $5. Good never lost. He said, look, as long you were good to me, you surprise me. Me, Joria, I will reciprocate. I will do that same good to you. Anytime, anywhere, pick up my number, call me. It can be whatever situation, I will be there for you. As long you was there for me, I will be there for you. We are. Rehab. All that place. Joseph Baga House, our Poto. You were well over there. You couldn't tell Manaseli, the public were post small lake crush right here. George Weah became president. George Weah transformed rehab. Road connectivity. And one thing George Weah they didn't do in rehab was to remove the ordinary people forcibly from around his residence and say, you go, don't supposed to live here. No. He tolerated the ordinary people. He said, break their homes down. No. If they were anyway, the dialogue, they negotiated. He didn't use eminent domain to infringe on the rights of the ordinary people. No, because he seen himself as an ordinary man. So there is no need to marginalize the ordinary people because he came as a Gosentician to emancipate the people of Liberia. So we are saying we tolerate everybody. Let's live together. We are one people. We are one people. You can stay to Joseph Baga how you looking, Joria. No, Joria was not thinking that way. Because he was not a killer. He was not a dictator. He was not dictatorial or tyrannic. He was tolerant. Look, we are keen to open your eye. They won't fool you so you can know your real root. When you see somebody who for you, you will know. John Weah is not just for you. He was with you. You saw it 6 years. You saw it 4 years. The 2 years of Ebola, you were not home and John Weah are paying you. Your husbands were not sitting down home. John Weah said that and government were paying them. When the Ebola crisis were on, George Weah were paying his people and said, sit home. We will pay you. I can endanger your life. You are of essence. You are an asset. We will not put you in the harm's way. His government were paying people 2 years. George Weah had 4 years. In that 4 years, George Weah changed the paradigm of our country. Today, the ordinary old man know what it takes to send her daughter to LU because a man called Weah was able to remove that barrier. He was able to remove that blockade, that glitches, especially the political glitches. George Weah removed it. When they say the ordinary old man daughter can come here, George Weah say you are a blatant liar. This institution is for every Liberian. And it includes the color seller Omar, the boni seller, the pepper, the lac. All of them have part to play in the building of this nation. George Weah broke that barrier. He broke that chain. Today, the ordinary Omar Chak can go LU. Not just only that, George Weah digitalized the LU. He brought it to a place where the ordinary people can add value to themselves. Baga was 12-year-old Madam Salif. George Weah was coming from his residence one of those days. He and Trokonpi, they was driving. And when they get to Fish Market, George Weah I went to the right. He said, Troko, they play. Troko, they play. We can turn the plane into something. Go. He said, Papa, I said we can turn the plane into something. I've seen it in Europe. And I'm meaning Springfield. In Europe, they get packed out the airport. He said, Troko, we can do something here. Troko said, we can do something. George Weah saw that place that was isolated for 100 years plus. Right in from the home of Madame Salif. The woman who received buckets of money under her regime, with Joseph Baga plying that road. All of them were passing that road. They will see that dirty feet. They will see that poo-poo area. They will see people playing over there. They had no one day because they feared that the ordinary people can't play. We barely play. All they wanted from Oro, all they wanted from 20th Street Cinco, all they wanted, they will move from over there. They can't park on the road and be giving you a hard time. We can't pay this place. The prayer people were praying in the hot sun. When George Weah was embarked on that initiative, the legislators, some of the senators, some of these political Pharisees and political symbolizers and Tobiases, they were engaged. No, we can't allow the men to be over there. In case one of the airplane fall down. Some of these people were not even, they said all their politics. They even told the prayer old man to pray against George. That small fire came that day. Holy Ghost, fire! Holy Ghost, George Weah, that small fire, George Weah does in this country. The old man, who George Weah, they told the old man and say, George Weah don't want to pray again. That's why he won't put something here. He said, man, not prayer. Those old man were brave to start talking against Weah. Those prayer mothers, because they were they were prayer mothers, but they allowed themselves to be used for little or nothing because they didn't know that God sent somebody to emancipate them and gave them a decent place to pray. When they started the work, what they said a joke. At the end of the day, that place was built. Today, many Liberians, including United Party family people, their children, when they come from the diaspora, they go to the Invisible Park. They go to the Invisible Park. George Weah look at the house and say, "Chokon, but what didn't be here so?" Chokon said, "He said, that not in the area, papi." George Weah said, "What are you talking about? Do you know the beauty of this place? The beauty of that place will be the housing unit behind it. Let's put something there." George Weah built the place. His government built the place for the people with asking for no money. Transform the life. As a result of the Invisible Park being erected, those that were living within the confines, that were living within the proximity, that was living within the terrain of the Invisible Park, they were beneficiaries of the project. Because of that project, homes that were zinc shops, dilapidated buildings were transformed into housing units. It was George Weah. He opened the eyes of the ordinary people. When Joe Brackett and Madam Sally was here for 12 years, they never prioritized that place. George Weah went and built a prayer center for the old man. Those very old man that were causing George Weah, those prayer old man that were misbehaving. They shamelessly went there that day. Hey, son, sorry, you know, sorry. I said, if the old man or don't old man, I'm going to grab one and tie all of them laptop together and carry them so big. Today, they're the place that George Weah built. See the old man. When George Weah got to that place, it was the first of a kind when the old man were praying in Job Marcot and in Job Gabriel. They came down from heaven and said, "No, there's a need to go down." They came down and went there because the central AC that were in the place alone, it attracted angels from the Lord. Angels came down. The old man were not used to AC, see them jumping. Whoa, they play heated. They enjoy AC. Today they got prayer ground because a man called George Weah was able to prioritize them. Because George Weah came from inside Christendom. And so he's been cognizant of the fact that his late grandmother was not just a prayer mother, she was a humanitarian and philanthropist. And the old man praying that the park now you see Joseph Bakane made dirty. I went there recently. I enjoyed it. When I play game, I couldn't play because my boots one way or the other. AB King, they say they might take the jersey from me. I wanted no protest that day. I gave my jersey. I did not my right. But who knows? I will have scored. I had a BR 13-4. I don't know how many go I want to score. Sometimes you don't overlook people. Then because we sling, you know how I'm playing. Maybe you overlook me that day, but nevertheless. And I went also, I say, Father, as long as I've been denied from playing the game, let them flock us. And the Lord answered my prayer. They give 13. Oh, God. Sometimes God can answer something you want it. So look at now. That the play, I know how Madam Sally was feeling when George Weah finished better play. I know she's passed. She said, friend, George, do it again. You look out the things there, the ball have erected another one. Look, that place opened up. Everybody, the skippers, those guys that can do skipping. They can say, roller skate. The guys will go there, they are skipping. Because George Weah created possibilities. George Weah named those areas in honor of other people. But Manaseli was here for 12 years. You think money was not here to pay that play? Joseph Parker was with Manaseli for 12 years. You think money was not here to pay that play? Money was there. But they said when we pay that place, that didn't want it from West Point, Clouton, Nukuta, Dokomina, they will come back here and can't be causing no. We can't pay it. But today, that where the United Party people can go shamelessly, they go sit down there and they're celebrating. We're selling auction goods, we're selling this. But they were the one that castigated the construction of that area. But today they are the beneficiaries. Opening eyes. George Weah opened the eyes of the ordinary people. Look at PHP. Manasedi ran away from that executive mansion. I know what thing she do to those so much. She's scared of those spirits. She ran away from that mansion. They do all kind of go. They say fire enter the mansion. That woman went to the foreign ministry. She said, "I will never go in that mansion." She couldn't renovate that mansion. They have money on budget. They eat it. When George Weah came, George Weah said, "Look, you see, when you got that's something that." I was sitting with the late Adolf Lawrence who was talking. He said on me, he said, "Sit down, John, brother. You call me John, brother. Sit down, John, brother." He said, my brother, you see it? You see what I'm telling you? When you get good eyes, you get good heart for people, God will bless you. That's when I heard the word from him, Konji, Komodo. That's what he told me. He said, Gian brother, you get good at good height. You be a blessing to people, there will be a blessing. George Weah said, we will face the mansion. George Weah came to power, they renovated the mansion. He said, I'm going in the mansion. All of us don't go there. George Weah said, I'm going there. A spirit in that mansion. I mean, the spirit looking for. I mean, kill the spirit. The spirit know who came. I'm going there. George Weah went in the mansion. One of those days, George Weah stood in his office and he looked back to the Atlantic Ocean. And the spirit of the Lord, the angel of the Lord, turned his eyes to the spot that place there where the 13 men were executed. George Weah looked at the place and he said, Follow. He called my gate. Follow. Hundo. Come here. Follow came and he pointed finger to that place. He said, that place is where I'm seeing them. Oh, Follow said that where the 13 men were executed. Oh, he said that seriously? And that's how this place is a good view. If we set something down here, Follow, it will attract. This place will be turned into a commercial hub. Many young people in that area will come, people with business will make money. We are sorry. He saw it. They need to build that place, transform it from graveyard to a memorial site, to a place that will entertain our people. Today, there's a park there. Go see how that park dirty. Go see it. That the park. That is why Joe Baka's statement, I'm considering it. We didn't come here to follow somebody else's agenda. So that is why you see most of these places are dejected. They are dirty. Go to the Invisible Park. Go see the Invisible Park. The garden dirty that place, they spoil it up to now the top, the artificial top is old, they can't change it. They don't intend to change that place. Go to the Invisible Park, go to the PSP Park, go see dead, go see plastic bag, go see, they want to destroy everything because Joseph Baka say he's not here to follow someone else's agenda. So he's not here to follow George Weah agenda. That is why he abandoning everything that George Weah government built. That is why he abandoning everything that George Weah government brought for the people, because he was instructed to make sure that he damaged every legacy of George Weah. And I can say to all of you, open your eyes. Today, you are victimized. Today, your homes have been broken down. Today, you who stood in the mud, you was all in the poo-poo water for a man called Joe Baka. You thought he was an ordinary man. Today, Baka left you in a cold. You're not part of Baka. You're not part of him. The George Weah, God brought that man to open your eyes. That your eyes that were open and you say you won't close it. You won't follow Joseph Baka. You won't follow somebody who don't even thinking about you. Somebody who will take food from on your table. Many of you that get there when we're talking, today you working and you pension. George Weah time you are pension. The 6 years that George Weah were in power, you are pension. You ask yourself that you were qualified to be pension? No. George Weah felt that everybody had they were a breadwinner for their family. So if they were possibility to create anything so that they get smart into the barrier for their family, let it be. Pay their children school fees. He created opportunities. When Joseph Baka post he get prosecuted. But he won't go after George Weah people. And you, the ordinary people, you say, the papa here. We papa here. Which papa here? Send Joe Baka to who not kind of country can invest. Now they see a select mentor than a ben here. Be Martin there. Joseph Baka brought anything? He brought nothing. He's taking everything. You know how many lands the old man get in town here? They man said he say he must 6 people land. They man use eminent domain. They are the same 5 and 6 anyway. But Liberian, listen to me. It is not over yet. Open your eyes. Know who is for you and who is with you. Not just only you know them, but let them be with you. And George Weah with George Weah, you knew him. George Weah for you. You are with you. He now abandon you. That is why you, the United Party people, when George Weah took power, he sacked you for your work. He sacked you. He moved you from there. When George Weah became president, you're the United Party people, you were still working. George Weah not test you because he came for everybody. He was not selective like Joseph Baka. He was not selected like Jeremiah Cohn. You know, the first thing George Weah abandoned Grand Crew. He leave a country where he's going to go pay everything. He left a country and went to Lofa and Nimba. Only a good father would do such a thing. That would say, I get my stepchildren here. I get my own biological children, but all of them are my children. I will treat them equally. But a very good father or a good mother, when she comes from the house, the first people she will have for our stepchildren. Well, Maza, Tewa, where your sister? Where your brother? You know why they want to get to their stepchildren first? Because they want them to believe that they are part of the family. They don't want them to be thinking that they are isolated because their ma or one with their pa. And so they were more showing that love with first thing when she come from she will buy chicken and pepper and say, when you come, Tewa, where fire? Where you send about? And what was that? They're looking for their stepchildren to present them because they want them to feel free. They want them to be a part of the family. But when you see a stepman, Jack can straight, where my children? You, where the children? Call the stepchildren, you, and ask him for her biological children or his biological children. That means he doesn't want to treat them with, fairness. George Weah treated Liberian with fairness. He was not looking for Grand Crew. He was not looking for Sino. He was not looking for Grand Jide. He was looking for everybody. But in the midst of that, George Weah went to Lofa. He went to Nimba. I will build the roads. I will build the school. I will go there. I will build this. The people of Grand Crew. There are things that happen in those countries. But George Weah was running mostly to Nimba and then what? Because he was a twin father. He was not coming for a certain group of people. Because when Madam Seli was there, George Weah was peace ambassador. George Weah the one that united Nimba and Grand Jide. Nibarian and Grand Jide. It's not like Joseph Baga who is so divisive. The old man who doesn't care, he doesn't care about the country. And y'all wake up in the morning, y'all say the chief Joseph and everybody in the morning. I was all the next day, kind of evidence like Kings Evan and my kids. Y'all come for all. All the people that Joseph Baga and where you go from it? Joseph Baga ain't come for us. So that they will continue to steal and steal more. Baga can infringe on the rights of anybody here. Joseph Baga is failing day by day. He lies so much. He and his people, that will not tell you, say, Joseph Baga will tell the chief Joseph will come for everybody. He should come and grab the whole media and light everybody up. Then we know you're serious. If you're looking for King 7 people to jail, you're messy. If you're looking for us, because we all put pin in your body, we all make your worry. You can call on your radio because it can be pinching you. But there are people in the United Party that appreciate what we do because it is about Liberia. It is not about enriching Joe Baga and his children. It's not about making Jeremiah Kun to be passing around acting pompous that they want to they respect the American now and they no. There are people in the United Party that appreciate what we do for the country. So when you happy, you jail your own. If that all you're looking for to jail, will not jail us. You will never. You will not succeed. Every day we'll be behind this microphone. You can't do nothing about it. Nothing you can do. The Laban people, they wait for 2029. No matter what Joe Baga, all the things Baga want to do, the people have seen all that thing. Baga, they didn't appreciate Joe Weah time, that the people were appreciating this time. Nobody, you think Laban people are stupid people? The people know what they're doing. If Joseph Baga can appreciate the thing that John Weah did, but he wanted Laban people to appreciate what he's doing, they will never appreciate it. Because all these things are initiative of George Weah. They saw a George Weah time. Joseph Baga with Manaseli, he didn't do any of them. He encouraged them to do any. So you can't surprise the people. The people will not run your way. The people will not run your way. And we'll continue to tell the Liberian people, the ordinary people, that you have a part to play. If Joseph Baga said he didn't come here to follow someone else's agenda, but he doing George Weah thing and he started with, he passing around want to claim self-glory, he going changing names, just for people to tell people things, then he's lying to you. Joe Baga said, we came to set a new agenda for this country. The new agenda is to take your land. The new agenda is to make you homeless. The new agenda is to infringe on the rights of the Liberian people. The new agenda is to make the police to be brutality and beat their people. They set the police brutalizing people, taking their goods. That's the new agenda of Joe Baga. To enrich themselves and make his children live like king and queens. That's a new agenda. But all is not lost, Liberia. You are still strong. I want you the ordinary people to know that when you talk about poor, will open your eyes that we are. That we are. Before I open the telephone line, I said to you, all is not lost. When you hear Ebi say we are getting there, I came in the studio, I won't add audio, but when we reach, he said we reach, but see, he said we reach, my brother, we will get there, and we will surely get there. No matter what Joe Baga will go about, he can buy all the army, he can buy F-54, F-16, he can buy hypersonic missile for his army. That the army can buy it for the police, whatever. We will get there. When we get there, they will know that we're serious. It is the unity. I want you to understand, Liberians, that if anybody is thinking about you, that we are. If anybody is thinking about you, that we are. That we are. Let it ring in your head that we are king for you. Baka came to go against you and go against what we are built for you. He's not here for you. That is why he said they're not here to follow any someone agenda. The own agenda is to help the people take all your property, take your land from you. When his people steal, he free them. But then he's looking for CDC people. My begin to me say, so many up the road that it can be fair. They say, why we can be talking against Baka? I say, you let Baka go city. Go to Baka house and live there. Go and live there. Joseph Baka said, no, we should talk again. We should talk to him. Oh, but Daba, why were you underestimate me? My chief, that AB dynamic that game. And I won't go to that game because I know what that game made me feel. I just happy that day, but when I came home, I was complaining. I told my two boys, I said, you see what happened? Because when I came, they told me, where you play? I said, my boss made dynamic access to the match. He said, who? I said, AB. And when I came outside, I said, God, if for true the dynamic, let it be all. You're 13. God. Let me open the lines here. Let me put the women number on. Oh, you better put yourself together. I'm man Joseph Baka. The ordinary people, look, as long as we are still here, you stay hopeful. Baka will be flogged, he will be whipped, he will be beaten. What are you now? And here, Baka will turn the country over peace for the job. We are the same way job we are gave to him, we give it back the job. If they are thinking that they will cheat and do that one and do that one, you already get strong thing. Yeah, Guinea enter with AK-47, small leg, all the AFL one, you haven't run away. The small money, AFL said when the American was small thing. I want to talk about Guinea that 1926 airplane jet bomber they get the news on new way back when they even power over for you all. I beg you, Dumuya, we beg you. We don't want problem with. We already get problem here. So that your F-66 and F-35, that your 1920 plane, don't bring. You don't see like we get one. Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop Oyasi.
Yeah, morning, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. For the hearing of the public, this is Charlie. The Charlie of the common citizen, of course, and the Congress city to be precise, purposely rescue temple. You know, Israel, you only have said more than day. I even listened to Abraham last night. You know, like every day I go to bed, I pray for you guys. Because I haven't been for you, will not get information. Our own man, where you will not know the truth. Because these people came to power with lies and deception. And as their autonomy, their lives, they keep lying to the people. Israel, I told you this, they will do all they can. They will margin our people, mistreat them, kill our people, make our people homeless. So now, our children rape our girls' children. People be raping animals, all because they know they will be raping. That's 2029. But I've always found this as a caveat. If Baka had never seen war before, maybe all the war you were not here, or he was that poor. But we tell you that if they try anything, thinking that he will wake in 2029, he's living in the world utopia. He's not even living up planet Earth. Because we go from house to house, or purchase to purchase. What they don't expect is why we're happy. So if they know what I know, when the time comes, they share their power over peacefully.
Okay.
Peacefully, they are turning over with ease. And they were jubilating all right when they are cheating. When they are seeing that it's not an election, they were jubilating. When our time comes, they should turn it over peacefully. Now, they're like, come here, get us from here this morning. And the thing you are talking about, early, what they nothing, it is true. The kind of money that keeping the country man, justice here in town. We can see anything we can point to, but since John we have. When we fought together in this country, but then they say, take it side away. Since you are far with us, you couldn't know what fighting pandemic. We get a kind of development. They are all back and nothing we can see. All the traveling you did, what the only thing they do, run after people, which one people, run after car, my own, we have no foundation. It's all they can do. Only for the children, they want to turn it off to her, for the children to be starving, for the corrupt teacher to go and rip the poor children about to fight for. Well, all our their punishment never get our foundation. Just because you're for the time and keep on your good work.
Thank you, Jelly. Thank you. Good morning.
So, my best.
Yeah, go ahead.
My baby, you bring one 40. He laughed up. He said, we're about to pay the master pay. You pay what is very all about that pay fancy. That be a fancy. That makes it so they will not get cut a pay. My baby, they say, over there. You don't want to clean it. You want to get it by the time you are there, we will eat part of it. You want to send up for yet. So you know, family to say that you must forget us. But you know your politics. You say it in a period. You say it kill them out, what for you? You tell Africa to where Africa? What is person out here? That's the big criminal. You say it in a period. They go there, hospital I know how to I forget the place. You go there. No, I'm not ask you.